Today was the corporate anniversary gala, and he had promised to announce our decade-long marriage. But under the flashing lights, he held the hand of the first love he couldn't forget and publicly announced her promotion. I threw down my resignation letter, turned, and walked away with a smile. From that moment on, I was no longer a part of his world. Marcus and I had been together for 10 years, yet he had never intended to acknowledge our relationship publicly. Even if someone noticed our closeness, he would immediately deny it. But today, he made no effort to clarify the rumors about Chloe. His intentions were obvious. I knew Chloe was his college sweetheart and had always held a special place in his heart. Rather than waiting for him to tell me to leave, I decided to make a graceful exit myself. However, someone clearly didn't want to make things easy for me. Suddenly, Chloe grabbed the microphone. Director also contributed a lot to this anniversary project. Although she's not good with words, she has always quietly supported us. I'd like to invite Director up to share a few words. Her casual mention of me left the media bewildered, clearly unsure who I was. I had always kept a low profile, rarely appearing in front of cameras. Coupled with Chloe's implication, everyone assumed I was an idle person who knew nothing about business but insisted on meddling in the project. Questions were fired at me in quick succession. Is Grace the head of the planning team? What exactly were you responsible for in this project? How did Director support it if she's not good with words? Could it be that Ms. Chloe is taking credit on your behalf? Someone even asked directly, "We've never seen you before. Why are you appearing now? Are you afraid the new director will steal your spotlight?" Before I could speak, Marcus took the microphone. "All right, Director isn't used to being in front of the camera. I'll answer your questions." His words indirectly confirmed that I was merely a figurehead, a useless person. Disdainful and mocking glances, all sorts of strange looks, fell upon me. In the past, I might have confronted him on the spot, even argued with him. But now, I just felt extraneous. His heart had already strayed, and arguing was pointless. I turned silently and walked straight out. As I reached into my pocket, my hand touched something cold. It was a platinum bracelet, worth a fortune. It was something Marcus had coveted for a long time but never acquired. Just because he had mentioned liking it in a casual conversation, I had spent months of effort tracking it down and purchasing it through an overseas auction house. Earlier, Marcus had always said his career wasn't stable yet. He claimed he couldn't think of starting a family before establishing his career and consistently refused to publicize our marriage. At this corporate anniversary gala, the company's valuation had surged, and our combined net worth had skyrocketed multiple times overnight. I had originally planned to use this grand event to publicly present this bracelet and announce our 10 years together. But now, everything was in vain. Wait! Just as I reached the patio, Marcus quickly followed. When he faced me, his eyes showed irritation and weariness. "What are you doing now? The corporate anniversary gala is so important, and as the planning director, you should be there holding down the fort. Why are you running off by yourself?" His tone was displeased. "Is this about Chloe? You know I don't like to make private matters public. That's my boundary. I don't want to sensationalize our relationship. Didn't you agree to that before?" I kept a straight face and remained silent. He sensed something was wrong and softened his voice slightly. "Chloe is new here and lacks experience. Why don't you go back and help her out?" I finally smiled. It always came back to Chloe. I shot him a sidelong glance. "Didn't you just say I was only holding you back? Then let the newly appointed director show what she can do. Who am I anyway?" At my words, Marcus's face darkened instantly, and he raised his voice. "I only said that earlier out of consideration for you. You yourself didn't want to be in the spotlight, so I had no choice but to let Chloe step in. She's experienced and has an international background. If I hadn't been worried you'd overthink things, I would have had her take over more responsibilities long ago." I waved my hand, cutting him off. "Is it that I don't want the spotlight, or that you don't want me to have it?" In his fury, a flicker of embarrassment crossed Marcus's eyes. I knew he definitely remembered. When the company was first founded, I was the one who shouldered the heavy burden of its development and tirelessly expanded our business everywhere. Some people said Marcus was just an ignorant figurehead. Marcus believed I was stealing his thunder and demanded that I step back and be the woman behind him. He also said he wanted to become a revered business elite. To fulfill his wish, I agreed to his request and willingly handed over all credit and praise to him. At that time, I saw him as the man I would spend my life with and never had any doubts. But now, he was distorting my contributions into another false narrative. As hesitated, unsure how to respond, Chloe suddenly walked out. She was wearing a dark blue gown, one I had seen in a corner of the storage room 6 months ago. It was a limited edition handcrafted piece,
listed on the official website for at least $700,000. It was from the Eternal collection. At that time, there were only 5 days left until our anniversary, and I thought it was a surprise Marcus was preparing for me. Yet, after so much time had passed since our anniversary, Marcus hadn't even given me a single thread. Now I saw, it was for Chloe all along. I scoffed inwardly. Marcus said he was afraid I'd overthink things, yet he secretly gave her an expensive gown. Did he really think I was blind? Chloe stood beside Marcus. Grace, I'm not targeting you. The company's success today certainly owes a lot to your efforts, but Marcus' contributions are indispensable too. However, you always make it seem like all the credit belongs solely to you. Don't you think that's a bit excessive? A look of relief flashed in Marcus' eyes, and he immediately chimed in, "You are arrogant and stubborn, always thinking I'm useless without you. Who do you think you are? The company started from nothing, did I contribute nothing? They were united in treating me as their adversary, a truly perfect match." When looked at me, his face was full of coldness, but when he turned to Chloe, his smile was warm and gentle. All my contributions to him, and years of companionship, couldn't compare to Chloe's casual words of support in that moment. 10 years of sincere devotion had truly gone to waste. I nodded faintly. "If that's what you think, then I'll resign. I'll also send you the divorce agreement immediately." A flicker of triumph crossed Chloe's eyes, but she feigned concern and advised, "You know Marcus is angry right now, and you are intentionally saying things like this. Do you really want to escalate things until you are satisfied?" Watching utter such affected words, I felt a wave of nausea. Marcus scoffed, "She always has to bring up breaking up or divorce, she just wants me to coax her." With that, he turned and left, leaving me with a harsh warning, "You'd better get back to the venue and put on a show for me, otherwise, don't blame me if I cut your salary and demote you." Marcus had once promised that as long as I earned my way up to vice of the company, he would announce our marriage to everyone. That's why I had always pursued promotion as my sole goal. In the past, I probably would have compromised immediately, dutifully returned to the venue with him to manage the situation, and then graciously handed over all the credit. But now, I suddenly understood. Even if I secured a $1 billion deal, he would refuse to promote me, citing incomplete details, and deny me promotion. The fundamental reason was that he didn't want to make our relationship public. Because he didn't love me. I turned and walked away. Seeing that I didn't follow, Marcus yelled frantically from behind, "Take one more step, and I'll really lose my temper." I chuckled softly. Did he think I still cared about his mood? Returning to the apartment alone, I had assumed they would be busy until the end of the gala before returning. To my surprise, Marcus had also come home. Seeing me sitting by the window, he approached with a slightly reproachful tone, "You just left me alone like that, don't you feel guilty?" He rarely showed weakness. This was the first time. This year I remained silent. Marcus's tone shifted to helplessness. "What exactly are you angry about? Throwing a tantrum and leaving the gala was bad enough, but you keep bringing up divorce. What did I do to upset you? If it's because I didn't clarify my relationship with Chloe on the spot, then I'll find another opportunity to explain it clearly." Seeing my expression soften, he continued, "You don't know, after you left, several clients you were in contact with suddenly changed their minds, and one inexplicably said they wanted to cancel the cooperation. Chloe has little practical experience and can't handle it at all. Will you come with me to revisit them tomorrow?" He gently pulled my hand, seemingly trying to appease me. I looked at him mockingly. "So, your real purpose is to have me clean up your mess?" I used to feel sorry for Marcus, and as long as he showed a little humility, or made a slight gesture of goodwill, I would go all out for him. But now, that passion had cooled. It was only because of this calmness that I saw how transparent Marcus' intentions really were. How could I have not noticed it before? All these years, was he with me because he loved me or because I was useful to him? Marcus retorted immediately, how can you think that of me? What cleaning up messes? Isn't the company yours too? Don't you get dividends from the company's profits? Isn't it only natural for you to contribute to the company? Marcus was adept at twisting concepts and raising his voice, but I was long past falling for that compared to a meaningless argument. I just wanted to get some good sleep now. Wait, Marcus sighed deeply, there's just no winning with you. He pulled a box from his briefcase. These are cufflinks for you. Don't be angry anymore. I didn't come back today to argue with you. Can you please calm down? Looking at the cufflinks, I felt even more like scoffing. Custom-made gowns usually came with a complimentary pair of cufflinks. I had coincidentally seen these very cufflinks in Chloe's hand. At the time, she had smugly said, a complimentary gift is just that, a complimentary gift, it doesn't match an expensive gown at all. Now, this complimentary gift was being used by Marcus to appease me. It was utterly ironic. I took the box and threw it into the trash can right in front of Marcus. Is there anything else? I am going to rest. Marcus's face darkened. Don't be ungrateful. I am trying to coax you. What more do you want from me? I slapped the divorce agreement onto the table. Sign this, and it will be the kindest thing you can do. Marcus' pupils constricted, and he stared at me in disbelief. What do you mean? Do I need to explain it further? I'm divorcing you. Fury flared in Marcus' eyes. You want to make a scene, don't you? Isn't all this just to make me get rid of Chloe? Well, I won't. Not only will I not get rid of her, I'll give her a raise and promote her. I'll make sure she's above you. I clapped for him. Your imagination is truly something. 6 months ago, when Chloe first joined the company, I saw she was just all show and no substance, and suggested Marcus dismiss her early, but said Chloe was just a young person new to the industry who needed more opportunities. He even said she reminded him of himself when he was struggling. I knew she was his first love, but I didn't want to embarrass him, so I didn't expose it. But made countless mistakes. Whenever I brought it up, Marcus thought I was jealous, and told me not to make things difficult for a newcomer. Marcus heard the sarcasm in my voice, and stormed out, slamming the door. Go ahead and cause a scene. I won't indulge you anyway. At the same time, Chloe posted an update on social media. It was a picture of an arm covered in hickeys, with the caption, marks left by my big brother. Below it, all the colleagues were leaving likes and comments, wishing them long-lasting happiness. I didn't care at all and turned to my room for a peaceful sleep. I also replied to a message from an old friend who had been reaching out to me. When I woke up the next day, I resubmitted my resignation application to HR. I also sent a divorce agreement to Marcus' email. The email remained unread. Only HR cautiously knocked on my door, hesitantly asking me to come to the office to talk. As soon as I entered, I overheard a few people whispering, everyone's saying our CEO is secretly married, but who's the woman? Who else? It's Chloe, who joined 6 months ago, didn't he? You see the corporate anniversary gala yesterday, Mr. Marcus practically confirmed it. I knew something was up with her rapid promotion. In just 6 months now her position is even higher than Director. Director must not be happy about that, right? I saw Director secretly adjusting the CEO's tie last time. She must have a crush on the CEO. Too bad he's already taken Tilda. I had to admit, Marcus' secret keeping was top-notch. Colleagues who had worked with us for years still didn't know that the CEO's wife they were talking about was me. I walked past with a blank expression, and they immediately fell silent, startled. Upon entering the lounge, Marcus and Chloe were already seated, waiting for me. Several pages of densely written text lay on the table. Marcus' face was cold. So what if you weren't promoted? Do you really need to apply for resignation? Even now, he still thought I was throwing a tantrum. Chloe feigned reconciliation. Grace, don't be too angry. Although I'm a vice president, I am not as experienced as you. I still need your guidance in the future. Marcus pushed the papers toward me. I pretend I didn't see your resignation application. But don't let it happen again. I don't want you to joke about things like this as a lesson. You'll be Chloe's assistant for now. You can return to your original post when your attitude is proper. I've already announced that Chloe will take over your responsibilities. From now on, she'll handle client liaisons, and you'll assist her. At his words, even the HR person listening in was stunned. I was the company founder, and the most senior executive. Chloe was just a newcomer, and Marcus was actually asking me to be her assistant. An assistant usually just organizes documents and runs errands. Anyone could do it. Chloe feigned surprise. Marcus, isn't that a bit inappropriate? Marcus scoffed. She dared to threaten me with resignation. I am being lenient by not firing her outright. Chloe pretended to decline. Let's just drop it. Director is too proud. How could she be my assistant? Let's not make things difficult for her. I watched them play out their act, and finally spoke calmly. Sorry, I have no intention of staying. Please sign the resignation report. Marcus' face stiffened, and he glared at me through gritted teeth. Don't be so ungrateful. Do you think the company is a place where you can just come and go as you please? If I sign this, even if you beg me to come back later, I won't take you back. Think carefully. His tone was threatening, but I didn't care at all. Oh, I understand. Sign it. I had no intention of ever returning to a place like this. Marcus clenched his fists, emotions swirling in his eyes, staring at me, hesitating to act. I pushed the resignation report closer to him. Please hurry up. Marcus jutted out his neck. Don't you dare regret this. He snatched the pen and signed fiercely, with such force that he tore the paper. Chloe couldn't suppress her triumphant smirk and sneered. Some people are truly short-sighted. Once you anger our Marcus, it won't be easy to come back later. I chuckled. Instead of mocking me, why don't you think about how to clean up the current mess? Marcus was taken aback. What? The next moment, the HR person rushed in frantically. It's bad, Mr. Marcus. All the clients you arranged to meet have refused. And downstairs, a representative from one of our partners suddenly said they're terminating the cooperation. Marcus abruptly stood up. What's going on? As soon as he finished speaking, Alex had already walked into the lounge. His expression was grim. What's impossible about it? Director has always been our contact person. You suddenly changed personnel without even notifying us. As partners, do we not deserve even that much respect? Chloe forced a smile and stepped forward. Our terms haven't changed. It's just a change in contact person. There's no real difference. Not notifying you in advance was our oversight. Please don't be angry. Marcus also thought it wasn't a big deal and chuckled ingratiatingly. Exactly, this doesn't affect our cooperation. Don't worry, let's go have some tea and talk it over. Alex ignored them and extended his hand directly to me, speaking respectfully. Hello, I'm the representative from Shentai. You can just call me Alex. Ah. Thompson signed the contract specifically because of you. Now that you've suddenly resigned, why didn't you let us know? The smile on Chloe's face instantly froze and turned incredibly ugly. Marcus' angry gaze landed on me, his eyes full of suspicion. No guessing was needed. He definitely thought I was hiding something, and was probably imagining the worst. Chloe still tried to salvage the situation. Sir, the contract has been signed. Please reconsider. Let's talk first. No need. Alex cut her off directly. To be honest, your company's capabilities aren't impressive to us at all. We were only willing to cooperate in the first place, out of respect for Ms. Grace. You changed personnel without authorization, showing complete disregard for us. After speaking, he turned back to me. Are you free now? Would it be convenient to meet Mr. Thompson? The divorce wasn't finalized yet. I shook my head at him. Some other time. That's a shame. Let's exchange contact information first. You must contact me next time. Alex, afraid I would refuse, proactively added me on WhatsApp and left his phone number. After he left, Chloe spoke in a sarcastic tone. Grace, you really are something. You landed such a big client by yourself, and didn't say a word. If I'd known you were so familiar with them, there would have been no need for me to take over. Marcus' face grew darker and darker with Chloe's words. You did this on purpose, didn't you? I wondered why you insisted on resigning. You were setting a trap for me. You want to prove that I can't do it without you. You want me to beg you? Well, I won't give you the satisfaction. So what if we lose a few clients? Do you think I can't handle it? Marcus slammed the table in anger, his face turning beet red, and tried to maintain his composure. I couldn't be bothered to expose him. Mr. Marcus has significant wealth and influence. How could he not manage? I sent the divorce agreement to your email. Is there a reason you haven't responded? Marcus's brows furrowed. What divorce agreement? Chloe's expression shifted slightly, and she whispered, it might have been sent to spam by the system. I am not sure. She was Marcus's special assistant. How could she not have seen that email? She had obstructed me time and again. She just wanted Marcus and me to separate. Now she was feigning ignorance. I found her somewhat inscrutable. The HR person's eyes widened, and she incredulously scanned her gaze back and forth between Marcus and me. Marcus glared at the HR person through gritted teeth. Get out. The HR person quickly nodded and left the spacious lounge. Was suddenly left with just the three of us. Without thinking, Marcus lashed out at me. You've already messed up my clients. Now you are suddenly bringing up divorce. What else do you want? Do you want to force Chloe out, or do you want me to give in? Why didn't I ever realize you were so manipulative? Do you only use these tricks against me? Chloe also looked at me with disapproval. Exactly, Grace. The company is just starting to pick up. If you cause a scene about divorce now, outsiders will definitely write all sorts of nonsense. Or perhaps, she deliberately paused, her expression hesitant, daring not to continue. Marcus scoffed. What's there not to say? Speak. Chloe looked at me apologetically. Or is it for another man? I simply rolled my eyes. All these years, I had no other man besides Marcus. Chloe could actually fabricate such an outrageous lie. Marcus looked at Chloe in shock. What did you say? Chloe clenched her hands and spoke as if forced to. When I drove you home before, I saw Grace behaving intimately with a man, but I thought it was a private family matter, so I didn't mention it. However, lately, Grace has been constantly finding excuses to bring up divorce with you. Marcus, you really need to be careful. Faced with this baseless accusation, I was speechless. How come I don't know I have another man? With a loud slap, Marcus slapped me across the face, his eyes filled with hatred. How dare you betray me? I covered my numb right cheek, and laughed bitterly, seething with anger. You believe whatever she says. Do you have any proof? You used to be so compliant with me, but now you are like a completely different person. Are you trying to use this divorce to take half of my assets, and go support some kept man outside? Marcus immediately assumed I had betrayed him. But in reality, he was the one being ambiguous with others. He was also the one using our joint marital assets to please a kept man. I nodded. Believe whoever you want. I can't be bothered to explain anything to you. If you don't sign the divorce agreement, just wait for a court summons. A flicker of panic crossed Marcus' eyes. Go ahead if you dare. Even if I have to drag this out for 3 to 5 years, we'll see if your outside man can wait that long. Chloe suddenly exclaimed, Marcus, the hard drive you gave me earlier is missing. The data on it is worth hundreds of millions. We should call the police right away. Marcus' lips curled slightly upward. Why call the police? We can just search, can't we? I couldn't be bothered with this charade. I turned to leave, but grabbed me. So eager to leave, not even discussing the divorce. Did you take the hard drive? The contents of the hard drive are worth hundreds of millions. With it, you wouldn't have to worry about the expenses of your kept man. Marcus' words left me speechless. I stared at him in disbelief. You suspect I stole the hard drive? He chuckled faintly. You suddenly brought up divorce for no reason, and you were so eager to leave. Who else could it be but you? No outsiders entered the company today. Marcus' words utterly trampled my dignity. How could I tolerate it? I violently pushed my chair back. I didn't take it. Marcus' gaze was mocking. How will you prove it? They could easily check the surveillance footage to find out. But he insisted on forcing me to prove myself. He clearly resented me for bringing up the divorce first, and wanted to use this opportunity to humiliate me. Chloe maliciously added fuel to the fire. It's not that we were overly suspicious, it's just that Grace, you've been too abnormal lately. And you've gotten involved with people from the client's side. Who knows if you took the hard drive to defect to another company? Otherwise, why would they value a good-for-nothing like you who didn't even go to a prestigious school? My hands clenched into fists. If you suspect me, then call the police. Let them check the surveillance footage, and see if I took it or not. Marcus chuckled softly, his gaze landing on me. Why bother with all that trouble? Wouldn't a direct body search be faster? He knew best how to trample on others' self-respect, and was most skilled at making baseless accusations. But I had never imagined he would use these tactics on me. Do it yourself, or should I get someone to help you? People from the company gradually gathered around, all curiously peeking. What's going on? No way. She won't let us search her, she must be guilty. I stared intently at Marcus. You'd better not regret this. He knew perfectly well I wouldn't do such a thing, yet he insisted on falsely accusing me. Since that was the case, he couldn't blame me for abandoning all consideration. Chloe volunteered to step forward. I'll do it. She reached out to search my pocket, and a strong scent of perfume assailed my nostrils. I couldn't help but push her away violently, and my belt was suddenly yanked. Chloe let out a shriek and deliberately let a crystal clasp fall to the ground. This was the only memento my parents had left me after their accidental deaths. I reached out to catch it, but the crystal clasp had already fallen heavily, shattering into several pieces instantly. I carefully picked up the fragments, not caring if my palm was cut and bled. Marcus frowned, and intervened. It's just a broken clasp. What's there to pick up? How much is it? I lines pay for it, for her. Chloe immediately looked at Marcus with a touched expression. I turned, and punched Chloe in the face. Get out of my sight. Chloe fell to the ground from the blow, and tried to retaliate, but had no strength. She appeared tall and slender, but was actually powerless. She'd only beg for mercy if I hit her. Marcus finally remembered the significance of the crystal clasp, and his face instantly changed. I gripped Chloe's shoulders tightly, watching her wince in pain. Marcus was startled and quickly stepped forward to break up the fight. I raised my fist toward Marcus' face, but hesitated to strike. Marcus thought I still cared for him, and quickly hugged me, trying to soothe me. Stop hitting her. You'll cause serious trouble if you keep going. I pinched Marcus' chin and sneered. You can't bear for her to be beaten, then I'll make her life a living hell. Just then, the supposedly lost hard drive slipped out of Chloe's pocket. I picked up the hard drive with a cold smile. Isn't it right here? The hard drive looked familiar. I casually plugged it into the nearby computer. Upon opening it, the project details and core data inside were all things I had organized. So this is the confidential information you were talking about. Aren't these all my materials? I picked up the hard drive, broke it in half right in front of Marcus, and dropped it into the nearby teacup. You won't get far relying on other people's things. You'd better figure things out yourselves. Marcus and Chloe's faces turned ashen, but they dared not step forward. Marcus hesitated before speaking. Honey, that's enough. Can we please stop this? As soon as the word, honey, left his lips, Chloe immediately glared at me, consumed by jealousy. The onlookers around us all showed expressions of confusion and shock simply because Marcus had never publicly acknowledged our relationship. Before I sneered, stop this, how dare you say that? Marcus' tone carried a hint of grievance. I was just impulsive earlier. We are united as a couple. Why are you so angry? He knew the hard drive was destroyed, and that I wouldn't turn back that when he started to get scared, even willing to expose the marriage he had kept secret for 10 years. I had to admit, Marcus was indeed a shrewd businessman, who knew how to adapt to circumstances, but I was no longer the person I used to be. I would never be swayed by his few words. Everything that happened today was inextricably linked to Marcus. If it weren't for his indulgence, Chloe wouldn't dare provoke me repeatedly. Get away. Marcus pulled my hand, trying to appease me with his eyes, but I directly shook his hand off. I turned and walked away and immediately publicly announced my divorce from Marcus, stating that the reason for the divorce was third-party involvement. The divorce papers were exposed to public view, and everyone was stunned. Because at the last corporate anniversary gala, Chloe had implied she was Marcus' wife, and Marcus hadn't denied it. But now, I had stepped forward. Marcus was immediately thrust into the eye of the storm. Those who had previously cooperated with Marcus because of me began terminating their partnerships. They also demanded huge compensation, citing Marcus' personal conduct as impacting their profits. Not only that, I directly filed a petition to divide the shares, demanding to reclaim everything that was mine. What company would dare risk cooperating with a company embroiled in equity disputes? At this, Marcus was completely flummoxed. He had always thought I was just jealous and making a mountain out of a molehill, never expecting I would go to such lengths to expose the truth. But my counterattack had only just begun. Marcus tried to reconcile with me, but I ignored him. He could only block my apartment door. His familiar figure was still handsome, wearing the dark blue shirt I liked most. When he turned around, his delicate features were slightly weary. Marcus' eyes were haggard. "Can we please stop this?" He pleaded softly. "I know you are angry, and I know you are unwilling to back down. As long as you stop now, I'll fire Chloe immediately. I'll also find a top craftsman to repair the crystal clasp. Let's end it here, honey." He stepped forward, wanting to lean on my shoulder, but when he met my icy gaze, he was too scared to move. Faced with his soft words, I just found it laughable. He didn't stop when he repeatedly crossed the line with Chloe. Chloe didn't stop when she provoked me again and again. I had just begun my counterattack, and he was asking me to stop. Seeing me not respond, Marcus' eyes gradually reddened. "Just admit I was wrong. I don't want a divorce. I was just being stubborn earlier. Can we stop, please? We built this company together. Your hard work is in it too. If you keep pushing like this, do you want the company to go bankrupt?" On the surface, it seemed he was thinking of me, but upon closer thought, I only saw him caring about his own interests. I pushed him away. "Have you realized your mistake? No, you are just scared." I dared to fight to the bitter end, because I was confident I could start from scratch. But was different. Without the company, he would have nothing. Marcus frantically grabbed my hand. "I know you are angry, but Chloe and I really don't have that kind of relationship. I just felt she was like us back then. I've already demoted her to the front desk to perform basic administrative tasks. Aren't you satisfied yet?" He squeezed out a smile at me, his voice soft. "My legs are aching from standing. Can we go inside and talk, honey?" I shook him off in disgust. "If you want to stand, go somewhere else. Don't be an eyesore in front of me." Marcus stumbled and fell to the ground, scraping his elbow. But he still tried to reach for me, while I had already closed the door and left. Before leaving, I called the building security. "There seems to be a nuisance bothering people in the complex. Dark blue shirt. Could you please handle it?" I wanted a dignified divorce, but he refused. So I would do it in an undignified way. I hired a top-tier lawyer, and got my divorce decree in less than 3 months. It was worth spending $1 million in legal fees. Once the divorce decree was in hand, I immediately sold off all the shares I had received. If I didn't sell them now, I really wouldn't get a single cent. Under my actions, Marcus soon declared bankruptcy and was burdened with massive breach of contract penalties, and debts. Chloe had originally intended to extricate herself and protect herself, but I had no intention of letting her off the hook. I directly exposed evidence of her resume fraud. She claimed to be an overseas elite, but my investigation revealed she was just a hooligan from a third-rate vocational college. She had stolen toothpaste from convenience stores, snatched packages at school, and had been detained several times for fraud. This person with such a dubious record, according to Marcus, was an innocent girl who studied diligently. I found it utterly absurd. Now, even if I didn't deal with her, Marcus, having discovered her deception, wouldn't let her off either. After all this was done, Mr. Thompson, who had been in contact with me, extended an olive branch again. But I preferred to start my own business, so I politely declined his offer. However, he was very keen on staying in touch with me, repeatedly insisting on introducing his sister to me. After declining several times without success, I had no choice but to bite the bullet and go. Just as I drove near the agreed-upon coffee shop, Marcus suddenly appeared. As soon as he saw me, tears began to stream uncontrollably down his face. As if he couldn't hold back any longer, he rushed into my arms in a few steps, Only now do I understand that you are the only one who won't lie to me. I'm sorry. I was wrong. He cried louder and louder, making those unaware think I had bullied him. In the past, I would have immediately comforted him with a heavy heart. But now, I felt no pity at all. Instead, I coldly pushed him away. Please move aside. We're divorced now. Marcus stared intently at me, trying to find a hint of lingering affection. But I remained expressionless. He finally dropped his shoulders, his face filled with despondency. What will it take for you to come back to me? I didn't do anything to betray you. Why do you insist on holding on to this? We had 10 years together. Are you just going to throw it all away? How many times do I have to say it? Chloe and I really have no relationship. When I worked overnight with her a few times, we always slept in separate rooms. I know now that she deceived me, and I've even sued her. Can't you forgive me just once? I firmly took a step back. No. It's not just physical infidelity that counts as betrayal. Emotional infidelity is just as much. Marcus' tears flowed like a broken dam, and he sobbed, gasping for breath. I know I was wrong. I truly regret it. I promise, if you'll just come back, I will never betray you again. If you want to go public, we'll go public. If you want to be the CEO, I'll step down and work behind the scenes. As long as you forgive me, I'll do anything. Marcus had always been ambitious. For him to say he'd step down and work behind the scenes, he truly was remorseful. But in this world, some things cannot be erased with a mere apology. I looked at him calmly. Are you done? I have a date. I am leaving now. Goodbye forever. Marcus's eyes widened in disbelief. What? Didn't you hear clearly? She said she has a date. A cheerful man in a black suit suddenly put his arm around my shoulder and smiled kindly at me. I immediately recognized him as Mr. Thompson's brother. Marcus looked haggard, his old shirt wrinkled, and a flicker of inferiority flashed in his eyes as he contrasted himself with Ethan, who was young, handsome, and impeccably dressed. Yet, he looked at me with defiant reluctance. No way. How could he be your boyfriend? I don't believe it. I said, my expression cold. Anyone could be my boyfriend. Anyone could spend the rest of their life with me. Anyone but you. With that said, I pulled Ethan and turned to leave, ignoring Marcus' cries behind us. When we reached the corner, just as I was about to let go of Ethan's hand, he immediately tightened his grip. Didn't you say I was your boyfriend? Why are you letting go? I paused. He then flashed a sunny smile. You are beautiful and capable, and you handle exes decisively. I really like you. Let's give it a try. You wouldn't want to be single your whole life, would you? I couldn't help but be amused, and nodded slightly. Okay. He looked at me in surprise. What? I proactively took his hand. Funnily enough, I really like you too. Surprise flashed in his eyes. I knew you'd like me. Years later, former colleagues told me, Marcus had gone back to his hometown, married a woman, used all his savings to open a store, and lost everything. I, holding my partner's and child's hands, said calmly, that has nothing to do with me.